Ultra Street Fighter 4!
Okay guys, welcome to the Executional video. This is for all you guys that struggle a wee bit with inputs and struggle to do things like kara shots, difficult combos, general techniques like cancelling into the angry scar. I'll show you how to do, and show you how to get rid of negative edge. So basically, if you've got some errors somewhere in your game and you're wondering why it's happening, I'll explain it to you here, and hopefully you'll level up. Now with Sagat, he's primarily a link character. Now what does that mean? It means that all of his combos and frame traps, everything he has basically, or the majority of it, they're all links. And links need to be timed. They can't be mashed out. You can't simply just do this and combo. You probably can, but you'll just get fucking lucky. Everything needs to be timed with Sagat, so I'm just warning you guys that you're going to have to practice this stuff. It doesn't come easy, but with practice you'll learn the timing, no problem. Now just for those real beginners out there, if you're having trouble doing the B&B, the bread and butter combo, the crouching light kick, crouching light kick, crouching light punch, uppercut, the easiest way to do it is if you play, I'm going to explain to you on a stick. I'd imagine the pad will be the same theory, but you always want to do the B&B from down back. Learn it from down back. Do not learn it from down forward. Why? Because if you learn it from down back, you will option select block slower moves. What that means is if you pressure someone with crouching light kick and you're in the down back position, if they throw out maybe a slow EX move, or a slow normal, or even a fast normal, there's a high percentage chance that you're going to block it because of the frame advantage of light kick and the recovery. But if you're holding down forward, you're just going to eat whatever they throw at you, okay? So learn the B&B from down back, and an easy way to do it, just quickly, is hold down back, 1, 2, these are links, so they have to be timed. You can double tap the light kick if you want, but I find that kind of awkward. I just time them 1, 2. Move the stick from down back to down forward. So I'm just riding I've got a square gate on my stick, I'm just riding the stick. Press light punch there, and then just give it a wiggle, either down back to down forward, or down to down forward. A DP only needs 2 down forwards to work. It's the shortcut system of Street Fighter. So it will be down back, 1, 2, down forward, punch, and then just a little flick, just a flick off the gate and fierce. And this is what it will look like. Okay, so you've just really got to practice that because it's Sagat's whole game. Another one, real beginner players, or even if you're intermediate and don't have very good execution. I actually don't have the highest execution, but I'm kind of consistent. So what'll happen is if you go for a combo or a hit confirm, sometimes what'll happen, instead of a low shot coming out, you'll get a high shot. Now that's pretty annoying, isn't it? Because when it flies over their head, you get punished. You've lost your pressure. Now what that is it's negative edge. That means that it's an old Street Fighter 2, well basically an old fighting game technique, that when you hold the button down and release it, it will cancel into another move. It's basically called negative edge, and with Sagat I'll try and replicate it here. That's what it looks like. See how I've only pressed light punch once, but in fact got a cancel. That can happen to you if you roll the stick round and you let the light punch go. Now to stop that happening, that will never happen again, if you do not let the punch button go, you have to hold it down. So where you used to maybe let the light punch go and press and roll round to the light kick fireball, hold it down. And you can never ever get a negative edge if you hold the light punch down, because it's the release of the button that causes the negative edge. I'm not really going to go over Kara Tiger Uppercut because there's nothing really to tell you apart from light kick, tiger uppercut, Kara, this one travels further than heavy kick, but heavy kick starts up faster. The majority of Sagat players will always use heavy kick, Kara, for an uppercut. They might use light kick for a knee because of the distance, but generally that's the one you want to use for anti-airing because it's faster. Alright guys, fairly easy one. Looks fancy but is really quite simple. Cancelling standing heavy kick into the angry scar, motherfuckers. So what you do is you do a quarter circle back. The input for the angry scar is quarter circle back, kick. But to cancel it into from the heavy kick, for it to look pretty nice, you know, if you want a style on somebody or an extra bit of damage from one bar, you do quarter circle back, heavy kick. You press heavy kick as you go to the back of the first quarter circle, then you do another quarter circle back and press heavy kick again, and it will look like this on the screen. You see that? I'll just show you again. Very simple, and then obviously, as you know, that connects to uppercut. Okay, now Karas, fucking Karas. It's a very asked question on the forum or just with Sagat in general, and I'm going to show you a very easy way of doing Kara shots and learning a Kara shot game. Now this isn't the ultimate Kara tutorial, it's something that you'll have to adapt to, but it will give you a good base to work on. So let me just show you how it's done. Now, you will very rarely use a single Kara shot, and what I mean by that is when the two characters are like this in neutral and nothing's happening, you would very rarely with Sagat just throw out a random Kara shot. It's not really seen. You can do it to maybe anti-air someone or something like that, but generally Karas are used in a fireball war, and the easiest way to get a Kara shot game, or at least begin to get a Kara shot game, is to throw a fireball with another fireball on the screen. Now what happens is, because in Street Fighter 4 you can't have two fireballs on the screen at the same time with Sagat, well, any character apart from those that throw double fireballs obviously, but what the game will do is it will register the Kara, which both your Kara buttons are either forward light kick or forward heavy kick. And what will happen is when there's a shot on the screen, it will take the forward light kick input, but if you input another shot just as the shot's disappearing, so there is no longer two shots on the screen, it will throw out a shot because that shot's now gone. Now I'll show you what I mean. So at this sort of range, when the shot's going to hit the character, what you want to do is throw either a slow or a medium type shot. Now the reason for that is because Sagat won't recover in time most of the time from a fast shot, because he's still in the recovery of the fireball. So from this sort of position, anywhere around here, a slow or a medium shot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw, I'll throw a low slow shot, and then what I'll do is just as the shot's about to hit Akuma, I'll input quarter circle forward for the fireball, my Kara button, whichever one you like, and another button on top of that. Now some people double tap, but I'm just showing you the complete noob beginner way. So it's going to be quarter circle forward, slow fireball, just as it hits I'll press quarter circle forward, light kick, and we'll add in a medium kick, okay? And this is what happens. Now look at the inputs. I did a quarter circle forward, light kick, then medium kick right after. So what happened was the computer decided, or the CPU decided, that there's still a shot on the screen, I can't throw a shot. But as soon as that shot disappeared, bang, the other shot came out. Now if you do it too slow or too fast, it won't work. It has to be just as the fireball just disperses on Akuma's body or whoever you're playing. Can be block or hit, doesn't matter. It's the same kind of animation. So I'll show you again with heavy kick into medium kick this time for a different, or we'll do a high shot this time. We'll go heavy kick into medium punch, okay? Now watch. Fucked it. There you go. So practice that, and I'm just going to show you one more thing. Okay, I can hear what you're saying. Well, what if the fireball doesn't hit the character, or the fireball doesn't dissipate on another fireball, say? Well, it's the same theory, except instead of using the character as your gauge when to input the motion that I just showed you, you use the side of the screen to input the motion. So again, the motion is quarter circle forward, either light kick or heavy kick, your Kara buttons, and then another button on top, whichever button you like, it doesn't matter. If you press punch, you'll get a high Kara. If you press kick, you'll get a low Kara. Now, it's the same theory. Instead of when the fireball just disperses on the character, instead of doing it then, you do it just as it flies off of the screen. So I'm going to throw a high shot here. It's going to fly straight over Akuma's head, and I'm going to input the exact same inputs that I just showed you, but just at a different time. You see? So it flew over his head. I put the same motion in. Now that doesn't work if you just do it from here. You just get a tiger shot. You know, you're like, well, why can't I just use that motion for all my Kara shots? Because there's nothing to cancel into that method there that I'm showing you needs another shot on the screen. And this is especially good for when you knock someone down, you want to get a chip shot, right? Usually you want to get a chip damage shot. Well, what you can do with this kind of Kara game is you can knock someone down, get a chip shot, and then get another Kara shot and another chip, so you get double chip, or you know, just as they get up they backdash and get hit. So give that one a try. Just input your Kara motion. Now, just one final point before I go. What the other way of doing it is the Japanese players you'll see on, if you watch YouTube videos, they double tap the buttons. Now what that means is that they kind of press it with two fingers, like a kind of turbo almost. Do you know what I mean? It's like a rap. That's a bad explanation, but it's like a double tap with your two fingers. That's also, funnily enough, how you do the fake kick. And it's the same theory. So I'm going to throw a high shot and I'm going to double tap the heavy kick. Same. You see, it's just the same base of what you're doing, but just interchanging the buttons and the timings. So that should help out guys that are struggling to get a Kara game going, and a Kara game is important. Okay guys, that's it for the Executional video. Hopefully you've learned at least something from that. Maybe you've learned shitloads, maybe you learned nothing. But if you've got any questions or anything that you're struggling with, just stick it in the comments, I'll answer back. And one more just before we go, just to show off, if you've dizzied someone and you just want to stuff it right up their ass, and you have a full super bar, which is extremely fucking unlikely, do two quarter circles forward, hit punch, and then hit kick straight after, light kick, and this is what will happen. Boom. That should stuff it right up them.